Today we look into the very capable G36C. In most games I've played, the G36 tends to be very similar to the M4 in many ways, and that's no exception here in Battlebit Remastered. Both the G36 and the M4A1 share the same damage value of 30, and the recoil values are identical, with the M4 having slightly more vertical recoil and the G36 having more horizontal recoil. Even so, both weapons handle very well, and the horizontal recoil isn't really an issue with either one. The main difference between these two weapons are the bullet velocity, where the M4 has the velocity value of 700, whereas the G36 has a value of 600, making it difficult to hit targets at longer distances. And the fire rate of the G36 is slightly faster at 750, where the M4 is at 700. While the G36 does have the benefit of a faster rate of fire, this also means the recoil is going to be a little harder to control overall. So to get everything we can out of this weapon, let's go through some attachments. Before we do so, if you find these videos helpful, please give this one a like, and if you want to see more videos more often, please consider subscribing. When going through the barrel attachments, there aren't really a whole lot of early attachments to help with the vertical recoil, so again, the compensator is always a safe pick to get a little help with controlling the recoil. And fortunately for the grips, the B25 URK is the second grip available, which is perfect for close range builds. Lastly, once you have access to it, you may want to swap over to quick mags to better help out with the reload speeds. The quick mag is the same size as the default 30 round mag, so there's very little penalty for using them. For your later builds, with all attachments available, the SC5 and Harris CQR grips are slightly better with overall recoil control, and for the barrels, the DGN, Van B, and tactical barrels are all good choices to limiting recoil. If you do feel the weapon's bullet velocity is a little too slow, then use the Van B barrel. When it comes to suppressors, the long suppressor isn't actually too bad to deal with, so it's worth trying out both and see which one you prefer using. To pair the suppressors up with a grip, the Harris CQR, SC5, and vertical grips work really well with either suppressor. If you are going to use a long suppressor, I would recommend relying on the vertical grip to help with the recoil as much as possible. Moving on to long range builds, the recoil for the G36 can be reduced enough to make it possible to go full auto with long range optics. For early builds, again, not a lot of good choices to go with, so we're going to go ahead with the same attachments as before. The compensator barrel and the B25 grip will be a good start. Testing out most long range optics, it is possible to fire accurately at full auto, and I would recommend the Prism optic. And once again, the ACOG optic isn't the best choice for it, but it can work. It won't be great if you're trying to mag dump with the G36, but a few shots at a time is definitely doable. And for the rest of the barrels, the MT4 and Van B barrels are a great choice. Both increase the bullet velocity up, which does help a lot with long range consistency, hitting targets past 90 meters. Anything past that though, you will want to tap fire, and it's still very accurate. Of course, for a better headshot multiplier, you can also use the long or heavy barrels. Going into grips, if you do want to just tap fire, the stable grip is a good choice as usual, but if you do want a more aggressive build to go full auto, then swap over to the vertical grip. The vertical grip does make it somewhat possible to even go full auto with long or heavy barrels if you really wanted to. I don't really recommend any other grips for long range, at least not for a full auto build. The SC5 grip does kind of work, but it's not to my liking. It may be better for you, but for me, the vertical grip does a lot better job overall. The G36 is just an okay rifle. It's not outright amazing, but the damage value is what keeps this weapon somewhat competitive. The vertical recoil can be a headache to deal with if you're going full auto, but it's not impossible to use, and it can definitely clean house and get 3 or 4 kills at a time. There may be better options out there, but if you're a fan of the platform or want to try something different, the G36 is still a very solid choice. And before I turn it over to you all, I do have a small announcement. Lately, the player count for Battlebit has been going down, and it's been getting difficult to find US lobbies that are smaller than the 200 player servers. Depending on the lobbies I can find during the week may determine when my next video will be. Either another showcase video like this one, or something else. Regardless, I still have a lot of fun playing Battlebit and covering each weapon. It may take a little longer than usual to get another showcase up, but I will have to make something different sooner rather than later. I do plan to cover X-Defined when that game comes out, so if you're interested in that, let me know. Going back on topic, what are your thoughts on the G36C? Has it been easy for you to control, or has it been a pain to use? Let's talk about it and let me know in the comments below. Until then, I am Mr. Rain, and I will see you guys next time.